Hi and welcome to this unboxing video from AR VR in Tech and its parent channel AR VR TV. Here we have the iPad Pro 11-inch and we'll do unboxing, then some benchmarks, and we'll do some tests on some apps. I hope you'll enjoy this video, so stay tuned. My first impressions about this iPad, it's more durable than the older version, the 2018 one. Inside the box, there's the USB-C to USB cable and a fast charger and some manuals. This iPad Pro looks the same as the 2018 iPad Pro with one USB-C input, 4 speakers and 5 microphones. But the microphones this year are much better, as Apple says. Also, the Magic Keyboard or the keyboard input still in the same place, just a little bit over the USB-C. The only new thing that you can find on this iPad is the camera system. It's a new camera system similar to iPhone 11 and 11 Pro. But the camera system here has 2 cameras. One wide camera with 12 megapixel and a aperture of f1.8. And the ultra-wide camera is 10 megapixel with a aperture of f2.4. and 125 degrees FOV. These cameras will give you an optical zoom of 2x, but the digital zoom can be up to 5x. The front-facing camera is still the same with 7 megapixels and Face ID recognition. Sadly, they left the camera in the upper side of the iPad, not on the side as we expected. But the good thing here, it can recognize your face either way, if it was vertical or horizontal. We wish this was also available for the iPhone. This side here can hold the Apple Pencil 2, and this is what this iPad is compatible with. And you can charge it also from this side like the iPad 2018. If you still have your case from the old iPad Pro 2018, I'm sorry to tell you it's not gonna fit because the camera is way bigger than the older one. And if you force it to fit, it will look like this. So I would suggest that you buy a new case, and you can find a cheap one on Amazon or Micro Center. And here's the iPad Pro 2018 11-inch to compare it with. Look, the same input, same speakers, same microphone system, 5 microphones. Same input for the keyboard, and the only difference is the camera. And if you wanna see how it looks like next to a normal or iPad 2019, here how they look like side by side. Actually, I prefer the keyboard input on the side like the 2018 or 2019 iPad, the iPad 7. But Apple has another thing in their minds. And here are the specs for those who want to learn more about it. They can stop the video and look at it. What I can see here is the big difference is the Wi-Fi 6, the CPU, the new CPU, the A12Z Bionic, and a 6 GB of RAM for all the iPads, the new Pro iPads. It's not only for the 1 TB, but it's for all the iPads. There will be a Magic Keyboard released in May. This keyboard can work on both iPad Pro 6, iPad Pro 3 and Pro 4 on all sizes. The smaller version will be for $299 USD, and the bigger version for the iPad 12.9 will be for $349. That was a test for the audio and video on this iPad. It looks the same as the older version, the iPad Pro 3. Now let's go for some numbers and benchmarks. Here we have the 3D Mark, the test that couldn't finish. I ran it for a few times, it didn't work. Always it stops somewhere and sometimes it crashes. I think they need a new version for this iPad, or there's another problem I don't know about. I ran also Geekbench 4, and here's the comparison between the iPad Pro 2020 and 2018 and some other iPads. You see here that the single core is better than the 2018, but the multi-core, and this is strange, the iPad Pro 2018 is better, little bit, but still better. But the GPU is quite a bit better in the new iPad Pro 4. Geekbench 5 also confirmed this, and I added here the iPhone 11 Pro Max for the A13 comparison. You find the A13 here has quite a bit different points in the single core, less in the multi-core and less in the GPU. And to see that in action, I ran the 3D benchmark as a comparison for gaming, and the results were a little bit better or much better in the iPhone Pro Max than the iPad Pro 2020. The results show that the iPhone Pro Max has 19.26 FPS, while the iPad Pro 2020 has 16.15 FPS. And that's way less than the iPhone. Antutu Benchmark gave this iPad a very high score, exceeding both the iPad Pro 2018 and the iPhone 11 Pro Max. So this iPad is the best for Antutu, and that's because of the RAM that it has and also the GPU and the CPU. What I see from these numbers that the A13 is better than the A12. Why Apple didn't put A13 Bionic in this iPad instead of the A12Z Bionic? I think they wanna keep it for their laptop line, and that will be maybe next year or maybe late this year. I think the MacBook Pro will has the A13 Bionic or whatever they wanna call it, and it will has superb quality and speed and performance than any other device, including iPads and MacBook Pros. I think they won't ditch Intel, but they will throw it to the MacBook Air criteria. Now let's see some games on this device. I think it's a very good device for gaming. Those who want the iPad Pro for gaming, it's a marvelous machine, as you saw in the benchmarks. The GPU is very good, also the new CPU. I think you'll enjoy gaming while you're at home if you buy this device now. Now let's see some performance on the Photoshop and other productivity apps. Here's a picture with 960 dpi, and look, as the iPad works with it just fine. This picture is 650 megs in size, and the iPad works with it just fine. It's not that big deal, and here's it's right in the format again to the cloud. If you want to do Word or some other Office applications on this iPad, it will be reduced like any other tablet. It's not the full version of the Office. If you want the full version, you have to go to Surface devices or laptops or other desktops. And we have made some other comparison on our channel here for some Surface devices. Other programs like 3D programs and the other stuff are very good on this iPad. Even they are not the same as the desktop, but it works just fine. And it's super fast also. Finally, I'll leave you here with some photos taken from the front camera and the back camera. These are the wide angle and the ultra wide angle. And here's some slow-mo video in 240p. And finally, this is my picture in portrait mode from the front facing camera. See you later, stay safe, and have a good one.